And welcome to Early Wilson. Doug Douglas here for a Tuesday night 6:05 start, UNLV versus Washington State Cougars. Troy Buco on the mound for the Rebels. We'll set the lineups here. It'll be Dylan Plew leading off, and as we have time, we'll fill out the offense and the defense. It is Jacob Godman who is behind the plate, the freshman. So freshman to freshman here to start off. Really beautiful evening. And there's the first pitch at 6:08 in for a strike. And with these shadows at this time of year, boy, both pitchers, they can pound the strike zone. You would think it's got to be a little bit tough. The lights are on, but definitely have not taken full effect. Of course, if you hit it anywhere to the right part of the diamond, they will be fighting some shadows there. I always feel for right fielders because it is some work. That'd be Max Smith out there after being a DH on Sunday, but we'll go from left to right around the outfield. Grant Robbins in left, James Gamble in center, and Max Smith in right. Around the infield, Duke Pahukoa at third, Bryson Stott at short. Big swing and a miss, and it is 2-2. Adarian Williams, the freshman, at second with the 15-game hitting streak, and Jack Thomas Wold, the sophomore, at first. If I'm a pitcher, I'm loving this time of day to pitch. That one looped out. Now, luckily, Gamble's able to tilt away from the sun, so that will be the first out. Recorded by the center fielder, James Gamble.
Second baseman, number 8, Garrett Goldsmith.
Goldsmith now steps in for the Cougars. So Goldsmith and then Montez, Manzardo, Alvarez, Sinatra, Barnum, Notaro, and Colden to finish out the batting order for the Cougars. And the first pitch outside, 1-0 the count. Oh, that's Buddy Goldsmith's son? Wow. Now I really feel old. And the 1-1, and that one just outside, 2-1 the count. And the 2-1, Balco sets in for a strike. Your home plate umpire today, Billy Hayes. Down at first, Gary DeFabio. And over at third, Travis Katzenmeyer. 3 umpires in this non-conference game. Mountain West versus Pac-12 battle. Of course, both conferences are also here for that one outside. The count will go full. For a lot of basketball tournaments. Las Vegas is Basketball Central. We are the pre-March Madness. Both the Mountain West and Pac-12 here. And the 3-2, and that one is way outside.
The left fielder, number 28, Colin Montez.
So Colin Montez steps in with a 302 average. As I said, it's too bad. Both pitchers right now, with the shadows the way they are, it has to be a huge disadvantage for the hitters. And free passes. Now, watch a throw over to first. Talk about if you are scouting. Now, Goldsmith has not tried a stolen base. In fact, Washington State, not a lot of stolen bases, but if you're ever going to try one, that one in for a strike, 0-1 the count. Because any throw over, first of all, though, it would be hard to pick off a move because, as you can see, yeah, you can see that on your shot, still on the infield. I know you lose anything to the right of the farm basket sign or farther to right, but I mean, you can see Jack Thomas Wold shading his eyes. So any throw over to first, these first moments of the game are going to be quite exciting. This is a time like Dupa is lucky. He's totally in the shade. You can see even Stott shading his eyes a little bit. Definitely affecting the Darian Williams. You can see him right now. Of course, the Rebels lead the nation in turning double plays. They love one here. That one, a called third strike. So 3 pitches and a 3-pitch strikeout for Buco. Like I said, this is the time. Midweek pitchers on both sides, you know. Usually not the 1, 2, or 3 as Kyle Manzardo steps in. But this is where both pitchers will be Connor Bryson for the Cougars. Can use these first couple of innings to their advantage. Throw over to first, and that one, as long as he keeps the throw low, I think Jack Thomas will be able to see that. I would think the 335 club down the right field line right now would be pretty much looking straight into the sun. They have to be fighting it here for a little bit. That one just outside. 1-0 the count. Game time temperature, first pitch was 62 degrees, 12-mile-an-hour wind out of the southwest. And how about this for humidity? 46% humidity. You don't hear that often here. Did have rain showers overnight. You can look, the field looks absolutely beautiful. This is great weather for the field. And the 1-0, there goes the runner, starts and stops. That one foul. So just a strike. They do a great job with the field here, but something tells me mid-May won't quite look this green, as it will have been played on more, and I guarantee you we won't have 46% humidity. 2 outs, 1-1 count. And that in there for strike 1 and 2. And as you can see now, the shadows at least are moving farther, so it's now totally, the sun is totally off the pitcher's mound. So perhaps a little bit better for the hitter to pick up. Still bright sunshine in center field. And this one is out to left field. Robbins puts it away. So quick inning. And that'll do it. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Rebels first time up. Washington State did not score. Live from Early Wilson. And bottom of the first, Rebels with their first at-bat. Leading off, it'll be Bryson Stott, followed by Dylan Johnson, Zach Thomas Wold, Darian Williams, Max Smith, Grant Robbins, Duke Pauhukoa, Jacob Godman, and James Gamble. And they will be facing Connor Bryson, who comes in with a 6.0 ERA. He has 5 appearances and only 3 innings pitched. So we've heard from Washington State that it will be a bullpen game for the Cougars. And the first pitch to Stott, low, 1-0 the count. And the 1-0 to Stott, that one inside, 2-0. Stott comes in. Batting .362 with 5 home runs and 11 RBI. Kevin Higgins over at third base coaching box. Pat Armstrong over at first, even though Pat is well outside the first base coaching box. And the 2-0, that one in for a strike, 2-1 the count. Setting the Cougars defensively, we'll start with the outfield, left, right. Montez, Sinatra, and Barnum in the outfield. And the 2-1, and that one way outside, 3-1. Around the infield, it's Cody Colton at third, Andres Alvarez at short, Garrett Goldsmith at second, Dylan Plew, the junior, at first, and catching Connor Bryson is Anthony Nataro, the freshman. So we have a couple freshman catchers here on both sides. And the 3-1 to Stott, and that one is to center field. In comes Sinatra, and that will drop in for a base hit. So the first base hit of the game belongs to Bryson Stott.
Designated hitter, number 25, Dylan Johnson.
Fans still coming in here to Early Wilson. Remember, if you do come here, there is concessions. Smoking Sam's is here. So Dylan Johnson now steps in, batting .308. Stott a threat to run. He's 2 for 4 on the year. That one misses, 1-0 the count. Johnson DHing today. And that one misses. 2-0 the count. Thought that one might have dropped in enough for a strike, but a little high. Wow, how quickly. Now all of a sudden the whole field, no more sunshine. There's a throw over, and Stott does get back. So Balco got a little bit of help with those shadows, and Bryson not quite as much help. See if that affects him. That one is fouled off, straight back. Colton at third, playing pretty far back. Takes a step or two in. There goes Stott, and that one is foul. So Stott will return to first base, and the count will go to 2-2. Washington State, a member of the Pac-12, out of Pullman, Washington. So that is more the, if you're not familiar with Washington, the eastern part of Washington. The Huskies in Washington would be closer to the west, in fact. Seattle area. Throw over, Stott back again. Cougars come in with a record of 6-8. And the 2-2 to Johnson, and that one is tapped foul into the dugout of the Cougars. Game tomorrow, 1:05. Then the Rebels will hit the road for a return to Mountain West action. They'll take on San Jose State on the road. One more game. They did that one high, 3-2. So the count will go full. Let's see if Stott is going. I'm going to say yes. My official first prediction of the game. So 3-2 pitch. Johnson, there goes Stott, and this one grounded down in. Good thing he was going, because that probably would have been a double play. Instead, it is basically acts like a sacrifice. Dylan Johnson grounds out to first, and Stott does advance to second. So the Rebels will have a runner in scoring position with one out. And Jack Thomas Wold will step in, batting .250. And I must say, he's batting .250. I've said this on the previous broadcast over the weekend, but I think his swing, perhaps of all the Rebels right now, is just the most effective. Well, maybe not effective, otherwise his average would be over .250, but just it looks great. He keeps doing what he's doing. I mean, when he's making outs, they're lined outs. The fielders happen to be in that position. That one fouled straight back. You can see he barely missed that one. He was almost on that one, but he's been really making good contact. He has 6 RBI on the season, 1 home run. Rebels took 2 of 3 from Bradley over the weekend. And the 0-1, and that one, wow, that is a good pitch by Bryson. So 0-2. Well done. So the sun must have snuck out from a cloud, and now there's a little bit of sun back again in the outfield. And the 0-2 pitch, that one is hammered out to right field, but once again, wow, Barnum, he drops the ball. That is an error to the right fielder, and what's strange about that is the sun didn't have an effect. That is the sun field, but as you can see, it's dark right now. He had it in his glove, and it just dropped, so a break for the Rebels rather than Stott might have gone to third anyway, but now Darian Williams will step in with 1 out and 2 on, first and third. Williams sporting that he's hitting every game except the first game, so he's got a 15-game hitting streak. And his first at-bat will be with 2 on. Williams takes the first one. Big swing and a miss. Darian batting .349, and more times than not, he will swing at that first pitch. And it seems like, and he's done very well batting .349 with a 15-game hitting streak, but it seems like he's always, not always, but a lot of times that one way outside 1-1 gets away a little bit from Nataro, but not enough for either runner to advance. But Williams has no fear batting with 2 strikes. 1-1 here, but he just, if the pitch is where he wants it, he goes for it. And even if he has 2 strikes, he's not afraid. So the count 1-1 to Williams, and that one hangs up a little bit, and that one gets through. That'll be a single and an RBI, and the Rebels will get on the board and lead 1-0. Stott scores on a Williams single.
Fielder, number 9, Matt Smith.
So Bryson, a little bit of bad luck there by the Barnum drop in right field. So Max Smith steps in. He's batting .284 on the year, left-hander. And the first pitch to Smith, that'll be outside 1-0 the count. So 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Rebels. And early in the game, bottom of the first, Rebels lead by 1. No runs, no hits, 1 error, costly for the Cougars. See if the Rebels can really take advantage. And put a crooked number up here in the first. That one inside, it gets away, and both runners. Wold will advance to third. Williams will advance to second on the wild pitch by Connor Bryson. So that takes away the traditional double play that might have been there for the Cougars. As you can see, the infielders at the corners are in, so if Smith can hit it anywhere but those corner infielders, that one in for a strike. 2-1 the count. The Rebels should have a 2-run lead, but if he hits it to either Colton at third or Plew at first, Jack Thomas would probably not be able to come on home. Smith with 8 RBI on the season, and this one is hammered out to right field. Back goes Barnum, and that is a 3-run shot for Max Smith. The Rebels take a 4-0 lead. That is Max's third home run now of the season. Grant Robbins steps in, and all of a sudden the Rebels are up 4-0. 4 runs, 3 hits. Grant Robbins steps in, and that one is chopped down to third. Colton gets it, throws over, and a good dig at first by Plew for the second out of the inning. So good defense there by the Cougars. They'll bring up the third baseman, freshman Duke Pahukoa.
Third baseman, number 45, Duke Pahukoa.
Pahukoa steps in, batting 188. And that one is fouled off to the right. So Johnson, who plays third sometimes, is the DH, and Pahukoa in there. And the 0-1 in for a strike, 0-2. And if you're wondering if that wind really helped that home run, going out to right field probably didn't hurt it. But the wind would help anything going out to left or left center. In fact, anything to the Ryan Ludwig side, the wind would definitely assist in. And the 0-2 fouled off. The count will remain 0-2. Bryson, 18 pitch count so far. And the 0-2 to Pahukoa. That one will be fouled off and out of play into the bullpen of the Rebels. Rebels right now in this long homestand, 3-1. Yeah, I guess 5-game homestand is not that long, but 3-1 right now. Looking to make it 4-1, and that one outside. 1-2 the count. And the 1-2, and that one is hammered down foul. The count will remain 1-2. I know it looks like it's going from dark to light in the outfield, but don't worry. There's no solar eclipse. They're just changing some things. The 1-2, and that one will be chopped down to Alvarez. He'll toss over. Strong throw to Plew, but a 3-run homer and a single by Williams, 3-run homer by Smith. The Rebels lead 4-0 going to the top of the second. Andres Alvarez steps up. He's the shortstop. He's batting .245. Buco's pitch count sitting at 18, 4-0 Rebels up over the Cougars. Top of the second, the first pitch, and that one is in for a strike, 0-1 the count. And the 0-1, and that one fouled off. And the count goes to 0-2. And the 0-2, and that one is a swinging strike. His second strikeout for Buco.
Number 2,
Danny Sinatra, the center fielder, steps in now with one out, top of the second. Buco in at third in case there's an idea of a bunt. That one outside, 1-0 the count. Jack Thomas Wold well back at first. And the 1-0, and that one inside, 2-0 the count. And if anything, the wind has intensified. Tomorrow it's supposed to be quite windy. Tomorrow I think I'm hearing 20 to 30. That one low. Barnum on deck. Sinatra batting .261. He's walked 6 times this year, and the 3-0, and that is his 7th walk of the season. Wow, that barely missed. I think Sinatra even stood there for an extra half second. Brody Barnum will step in, the sophomore, batting .209. Barnum out of Vancouver, Washington, which is just north of Portland. So not up by Vancouver, but the southern part of the state of Washington. That one misses. Now, the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to, your team goes out there and gets you 4 runs, and you do not want to give the gift back. And the 1-0. And the thrower to first instead, and back in time is Sinatra. So we had Elvis Dominguez, the manager for Bradley. So we had an Elvis here, now we have a Sinatra. Not quite a Sinatra, but yeah, there's still a little Vegas flair on some of the incoming teams. If they don't have a Vegas player on the squad, they have some names. Wow, where did that one miss? I'm not sure where that one missed, but the count is 2-0. So Buco having a little problem with control here, looking for a double play. And the 2-0, that one right down the pipe, 2-1 the count. And the 2-1 inside, 3-1 the count. So all of a sudden, Buco in danger of walking his second hitter of the inning. Sinatra with no home runs so far this year. And the 3-1, and that one is popped up. And in foul territory, Jack Thomas Wold will get that in fair territory, the umpire says at the end. The wind blew it fair. It was. That is the second out of the inning. So Anthony Nataro now steps in, the catcher batting .300 on the year, the freshman. As I said, we have two freshman catchers here. And the first pitch fouled straight back, 0-1 the count. Buco trying to make it a shutdown inning. The Rebel offense got them 4 in the bottom of the first. And the 0-1 pitch, and that one misses. 1-1 the count. And the 1-1, and that one is hammered foul. The count goes to 1-2. Nataro from Anacortes, Washington, towards the northwest part of the state. Beautiful up there in Anacortes. And the 1-2, and that one will be fouled off. The count will remain 1-2. A lot of English on that ball. Spun around behind the plate. Once again, tomorrow's game, a 1:05 start. By the way, that was taken off. That was no longer an error now. That was deemed a hit. So it's 4 runs on 4 hits for the Rebels. There goes the runner, and this one is skied out deep. That wall will help, and Gamble will get it just short of the track for the third out. Go to the bottom of the second. Rebels up 4-0 with 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Washington now with that error taken away. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the second coming up live from Early Wilson. Jacob Godman, the freshman catcher, steps in. It'll be 8-9-1. Godman, Gamble, and Stott for the Rebels. They lead 4-0. Bryson still on the mound. His pitch count at 25. And the first pitch at the bottom of the second to Godman, and that one is in for a strike. 0-1 the count. That last out by Nataro, that's what you want to do tonight, is just loft it up to center or left, and that wind will help push it back farther and farther. Or further and further, depending on what part of the country you're from. Or back, 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 back. Any of those three. Pick whichever one you like the most. That is an 0-2 pitch to Godman, and the 0-2, and that one is outside. 1-2 the count. Godman batting .294, really doing a good job behind the plate. And that one a called third strike. So that'll bring up James Gamble, the center fielder, who went and got that ball for the final out of the second inning.
Number 1, James Gamble.
Gamble batting .258, and what a luxury for the Rebels to have Gamble and Stott back-to-back, two players with a lot of speed. Gamble always a threat to bunt. He swings through that one. And the 0-1 to Gamble, and that one will be chopped down too short. Alvarez gets it, sets. Wow, what a strong throw over to Plu. What an arm by Alvarez.
The shortstop, Bryson, Stott.
Of course, with Stott or Gamble, the infielders know they can't have time just to toss it over there. They got to make a strong throw over to first. Of course, Stott being a left-hander has that even less running to first base. Stott is 1 for 1. He had a single and scored in the first. So Williams now 1 for 1. So his hitting streak has been extended already to 16 games. And the 2-0 to Stott, and that one is in. Oh, wow. Okay, I guess I won't try to play umpire because I've missed a few here. That one misses. 3-0 the count. 9-1-2 slots for the Cougars due up in the top of the third. Rebels lead 4-0. And that one high. So that'll be a walk for Stott. 23rd walk of the season. So he has 21 hits and 22 hits now and 23 walks. In steps in Dylan Johnson. Rebels up 4-0. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. See if Stott tries to get in scoring position, and a throw over to first. The Cougars thinking the same thing, perhaps. And the next pitch to Johnson inside. Johnson grounded to first his first time up, and because it was on a 3-2 count and Stott was going, no double play, and that proved to be big. As the Rebels were able to put up 4, including Stott coming home, and the big blow, the 3-run home run by Max Smith. That one outside. 2-0 the count. And we'll get a visit to the mound. So they're ready to go back. Bryson on the 2-0 pitch to Johnson, and that one is way outside. 3-0 the count. Jack Thomas Wold, who's 1 for 1 on the day, on deck. That wind will not hurt any ball going out to left or left center. We'll push it back some more. That one in for a strike, kind of a delayed call, but I think it was a strike. Good call by Billy Hayes, the home plate umpire. These umpires really do a good job. There's a 3-man crew here again tonight. So that's why you'll see the third base umpire, Travis Katzenmeyer, over at second. Number 3-1 instead a throw over to first. And the 3-1 to Johnson. There goes Stott. This one out to center field. Back goes Sinatra, and he leaps up to make the third out of the inning. I'm not sure at first he knew there was 3 outs. He looked like he was quickly trying to get it back in, but that'll do it. We'll go to the top of the third. 4-0. Rebels on top of the Cougars. Live from Early Wilson. Number 9 hitter, Cody Colton, steps in. It's not that cold. Freshman, and he shows bunt, pulls it back, and that is a strike. Batting .228 on the year. Cody from Post Falls, Idaho, Lake City High School. And the next pitch to Cody, and he'll swing, and quickly the count goes to 0-2. Seem to be in a landing pattern, so every once in a while I see some planes coming over. That's one of the smaller planes you'll see coming into McCarran. Oh, it looks like a FedEx, very small FedEx plane. And the 0-2, and that one is hammered right up the middle, but Williams comes over and stabs it for the first out of the inning.
First baseman, Dylan Plew.
So that'll turn the lineup over. Dylan Plew, who is 0 for 1. He flied out to center field, his first and only at-bat in the first. And the first pitch, Plew will hammer this one out to Smith. He goes back, he turns around and looks, and that is a home run for Plew. So a solo shot to right. That is Plew's first home run of the season and his 8th RBI. And you could just tell by watching the right fielder, Smith. He turned around and cleared the fence just about over the Aviators. Of course, are the team that's been here for a long time, but it was the 51s, Stars before that, and the Aviators, and their new home that appears to be on pace to get done by April up in Summerlin. And this one is out to right field, much shorter than the last one. Max Smith comes in and puts that away for the second out of the inning. In fact, I believe the Aviators home opener is sold out. Single game tickets are available now at aviatorslv.com. Good sponsor of Rebel Baseball. You'll see a lot of Aviators front office and people out here, especially early in the season. Of course, once their season gets started, it gets a little tougher for them. And that one outside, 1-0 the count. So Montez struck out looking his one and only time at bat. 4-1 here now, top of the third, 2 outs. Cougars versus the Rebels, Pac-12 versus Mountain West. That one outside, 2-0 the count. Montez, the sophomore, he'll look at that one for another ball, so it goes to 3-0 the count. And the 3-0, and that one fouled straight back, 3-1 the count. Do it for the Rebels, Wold, Williams, and Smith. Troy Balco trying to get the final out here. 3-1. And the 3-1, and that one is fouled off, so the count will go full. The 3-2 to Montez, and that one is check swing and foul. Luckily, it just got a piece of the net and goes harmlessly into the dugout of the Cougars. So over at the Thomas and Max, some Mountain West tourney basketball going on. And here, and that will be hit by pitcher. Montez will go down to first base. It looks to be okay. So that'll allow Manzardo, the DH, to bat this inning. Montez, when you're hit by a pitch, there's nothing that you'd like more than to steal right away. Montez is not attempted a stolen bases here. And I'm sure he would love to make that hurt a little bit more. That one, boy, those outside pitches, that was outside, but I mean, Balco is just missing outside. 1-0 the count. Alvarez on deck. So Balco has had some problems. He's walked 2 already. And let's just say he's not the master of the strike zone right now. And the 2-0, and that one fouled off. 2-1 the count. Out of play. Buco goes over, but it was well out of play. One run, one hit for the Cougars. 4 runs, 4 hits for the Rebels. The 2-1 to Manzardo, and that one he'll miss 3-1 the count, and that is where Buco is missing. Pretty much that exact same spot. Just off the plate. And the count now 3-1. Montez at first. And that one right down the pipe. So it'll be a full count with 2 outs. That'll allow Montez to get the extra step. And see if Jack Thomas Wold plays behind him. And he's a left-handed batter up there. No, he's not on the base. Kind of in a little bit. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Montez goes with the pitch, and that one is fouled off, and we'll do it all over again, and that'll go out of play. And the 3-2, there goes the runner, and that one will be ball 4. So all of a sudden the tying run will come to the plate. True, it's only the bottom of the 3rd inning, but Alvarez will come to the plate. Montez and Manzardo. Montez on because he was hit by a pitch on a 3-2 pitch. And on a 3-2 pitch, Manzardo draws the walk. Now, Buco's seems to be a little bit more controlled when it's a righty-on-righty matchup. Let's see if his control's better here. This one is hit out to right field. Smith comes in. He has to play it on a bounce, and that will be the 2nd run scored for the Cougars. Runners at first and third with 2 outs and a single RBI with 2 outs for Alvarez. So Sinatra, the junior, will come up now, batting .261. And that is the danger of the 2-out hit by batter and walk. So Greg Maddox will stroll on out there and settle Buco. And as I say that, the bullpen is now being staffed for the Rebels. There is action in the Cougars bullpen. We did say this would probably be, well, the Cougars said it'd definitely be a bullpen game. I'm sure Stan Stolte would love to get 5 out of Buco. Or would love to get 9, but realistically 5. But right now that is in jeopardy here in the top of the 3rd. He's only given up 2 hits. One of them was a home run, but it was with nobody on. Now with this left-handed batter, let's see if Buco's control, because this is where he's been missing outside to left-handed batters. Let's see if Maddox gave him some words of wisdom. If anybody can give words of wisdom on control, you would think it would be Greg Maddox, whose control was legendary. And the first pitch, and that one, well, there it is. Left-handed batter just outside, 1-0 the count. There is a righty on deck, but it would be playing with fire, getting the bases loaded. And the 1-0, and that one is not foul. Back goes Robbins in fair territory and makes the catch a few feet short of the warning track. So that'll do it, but the Cougars do score 2. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd, 4-2, Rebels up. We have a new pitcher for the Washington State Cougars. It is Busch. The freshman comes in with an 0-2 record. ERA of 11.88. Jack Thomas Wold. It'll be a lefty on lefty, and the first pitch to Wold, high and tight, 1-0 the count. Both teams kind of hot, 5 of 7. 5 wins in their last 7 games, both teams. So one team looking to stay a little hotter than the other one. That one a big swing and a miss. Wold, Williams, and Smith. All 3 of them already have a hit. So Williams has extended his hitting streak now to 16 games. And that one, oh boy, that one was way inside, but swinging strike, 1-2 the count. Seven, 8, 9 due up, or 7, 8, 9 order will be up for the Cougars. And that one goes the other way. Nice hit. Nice swing, 1-2 swing, and Jack Thomas Wold will pick up his second hit of the game.
Second baseman at Darian Williams.
So Williams steps in now with Wold at first. Let's watch what he does on the first pitch. He is prone to go up there swinging. And the first one, and he takes it for a strike. So there you go. You know what? There goes my look into the future and proven wrong. I was right on Bryson Stott, so when he ran it. So I guess I'm 1 for 2 on the day. Hey, that's 500. That's not bad. Take that in baseball. That one, 0-2. So Williams quickly down in the count. But as I said, he gets down in the count, but he's still batting .359, so he's not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. And the 0-2, and that one outside, 1-2 the count. And the 1-2, and that one way outside and high, 2-2 the count, so it's all even up again. As now the game is 1 hour old here in the bottom of the third. We started around 6:08, I think was first pitch, so 7:08. 1 hour into the game. That's the kind of quick math we do here. Timeout called by Williams. And the 2-2, and that one will be foul. Foul. Count will remain 2-2. Max Smith, who had the 3-run homer on deck. Of course, that was against Bryson, not the new pitcher, Busch. And then again, timeout. 4-2, Rebels on top, bottom of the third. First game of a 2-game set. Wow, this pitch is taking some. This time Busch steps off. Let's see if we'll ever see the 2-2 pitch. And what will it be? Well, the suspense is building as Busch steps off. I think a couple fans are wondering why that wasn't a ball. And that one is chopped up off of the glove of Busch, which may keep it from being 2. They get Wold, but they do not get Williams at first. So the lead runner is cut down at second. Williams will now replace him at first. And that'll bring up Max Smith, who already has a home run on the night. A 3-run shot. But that was against Bryson, not the current pitcher, Busch. So this will be lefty on lefty action. Williams, pretty good lead at first, and the first one, and that one is hammered out to left field, and that is going to go all the way to the wall. It'll hit up high. Kevin Higgins is waving Williams home. Here comes the throw, and he is safe at the plate. So an RBI double for Max Smith, and the Rebels are up 5-2, bottom of the third. Fourth RBI of the game for Smith. Well, Smith hit it perfectly if you want help from the wind. It was a shot anyway, but that wind did nothing but carry it where Montez, the left fielder, was not going to get to it. So Grant Robbins will now step in. And that one in for a strike. And this one will be chopped down too short. Wow. Smith almost committed a little too fast, but now there will be 2 outs as Alvarez throws over to Plu to get Robbins.
Third baseman, Dupa.
Pahukoa will now step in. So, first pitch to Pahukoa. And that one is hammered up. That should be an RBI single. Here comes Smith, and there will be basically no play at the plate. And that will make it a 6-2 ball game. And that's a RBI single for Duke Pahukoa, and the 335 club in right field shows their appreciation for the freshman. Nice bit of hitting, right back up the middle. Jacob Godman will step in. So the Rebels able to answer back with their 2 runs after the Cougars scored 2 in the top of the third. And we'll see if that allows Troy Balco to come on out in the fourth. Now that they've rebuilt up the lead, that one in for a strike, 0-1 the count. And the 0-1, and that one is chopped foul, 0-2 the count. And the 0-2 timeout called by Godman. I so appreciate when the umpires do that and point to who's calling timeout, whether it's the catcher or the batter. In this case, it was the batter, who is a catcher. And the 0-2, and ooh, that is inside, almost hits Godman, but he gets his hands out of the way. And a throw over to first. And the 1-2, and that one will be hammered out, and that will be a single at least. From first to third goes Pahukoa, and a big turn by the catcher Godman, but he wisely goes back. The Rebels are putting on a hitting clinic here with So Gamble will now step in. 6-2 ball game, 2 outs, bottom of the third. How about this? Rebels 4 for 5 with runners in scoring position. And that went in for a strike. And 2 for 4 with 2 outs. That is how you build a 6-2 lead. Bryson Stott on deck if Gamble can get on here somehow. And the 1-0, and that one is fisted out to second. Goldsmith does make the play, and that'll do it. But the Rebels put up 2 and make it 6-2 going to the top of the fourth. Live from Early Wilson. Brody Barnum steps in for the Cougars. 6-2, top of the fourth. Troy Balco's first pitch, in for a strike, 0-1 the count. Seven, 8, and 9 slots up for the Cougars, and this one will miss. 1-1 the count. Balco has walked 3, struck out 2. He did hit a batter also, and this one is popped way up. Let's see who takes charge of this one. Looks like Williams will put it away for the first out of the inning. So Anthony Nataro, the catcher, will step in. Batting .273 now in the year. Nataro, as we said, from Anacortes High School in Anacortes, Washington. And he'll take the first one in for a strike, 0-1 the count. And that one in for a strike on the outside part of the plate, and the count goes to 0-2. Balco's control seems better when he's facing a right-hander. So left-handers, he seems to have problems just missing outside. And the 0-2, well, now that one was way high, 1-2 the count. And the 1-2 pitch, and that one is right back up the middle. Williams able to get to it, but he slips. Oh, I hope he's okay out there. Boy, oh boy. He slipped as he was trying to set and throw to first. He appears to be walking it off some. So Williams has a little bit of a limp going back, but he's staying in the game. Cody Colton, the third baseman, will step in now. Paukoa in at third, about even with the bag. Rebels looking to turn a double play here. And this one is belted out deep to left center, and that nobody will get to. Off the wall. Gamble plays it very well. There may be that. Boy, I'll tell you, Gamble played that so well. Nataro was held up at third. He would have been out by a few feet if he'd come home. So Gamble for now saving a run. That was a great play out there, playing that off the wall. But now Plu, who is last at bat, home run. There was nobody on. Now Plu has two on. And Belko quickly got the first out, but now the Cougars are not going quietly into the night. And that one misses. 1-0 the count. Goldsmith on deck. And the 1-0 to Plu, and that one is hammered, but right to Stott. Colton back as Williams was playing well off the bag, so no chance at a double play, but that is the second out of the inning. That ball was hit with a lot of topspin, but Stott able to stay with it and put it away for the second out. So Goldsmith now steps in. He's walked and flied out to Max Smith in right field. And the first pitch, and that one inside, 1-0 the count. There's right-handed action in the Rebel bullpen. This might be Balco's last batter if he cannot get him out. That one, ooh, just a little outside. 2-0 the count. And the 2-0, and that one in for a strike. 2-1 the count. Two runs, 4 hits for the Cougars. 6 runs, 8 hits for the Rebels. Cougars have left 4 on so far. The Rebels 3, and this one, big swing and a miss, and the count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Montez on deck. Rebels trying to make sure Montez does not get to bat here in the top of the 4th. Let's see what Troy Balco does on a 2-2 pitch with 2 outs. And this one will be hammered up. Will it hang up for Gamble? It will. So good defensive play, and that'll do it. The Cougars don't score in the top of the 4th. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Top of the order coming up for the Rebels, live from Early Wilson. Stott will lead off the bottom of the fourth for the Rebels. He is 1 for 1. He had a single and he walked. Busch still in for the Cougars. And that one right down the pipe, and 1-1 is the count. Rebels scored 4 in the first, 2 in the second. Cougars scored, the third, and Cougars scored 2 in the third. And that one is second baseman's going back, and Goldsmith puts it away for the first out of the inning. Dylan Johnson will step in with 1 out. Johnson 0 for 2. He flied out to center field his last at bat in the second. Batting .299 on the year, and he'll take the first one inside. 1-0 the count. And the 1-0 to Johnson, that one way outside. 2-0 the count. And the 6'5" left-hander deals and sets, and that one in for a strike. 2-1. Jack Thomas Wold, who is 2 for 2 on deck. The 2-1, and that one is out to right field, and it will stay fair. It is a fair ball. Johnson will hustle to second. A little bit of problems for Barnum, but not enough to get away and give the extra base to Johnson. But that'll be a good opposite field double for Dylan Johnson. And that'll get his batting average up above 300 again to 309. So Wold steps in, batting .270 now, 2 for 2 on the day. And the Rebels once again have a runner in scoring position. They are 4 for 6 on the day with runners in scoring position. And the first one a little bit low, 1-0 the count. Wold had a beautiful opposite field single the last time he was up in the third. So he's gone to both parts of the yard, to right field and left field for his 2 singles. Oh, that one hits him? Yes. Looked like to be off speed. Kind of slipped out of Busch's hands, and that will be a first and second with 1 out for the Rebels.
Second baseman, Darian Williams.
Darian Williams will now step in. He had a single in the first and got an RBI to already extend his hitting streak to 16, so that has been taken care of as a personal accomplishment. And that one in for a strike, 0-1 the count. Max Smith on deck. And the 0-1 to Williams, and that one is low, 1-1 the count. Colton, the third baseman, playing just about even with the bag. Goldsmith pretty close to the second base bag, right up the middle. And the 1-1, and that one just misses. 2-1 the count. Hopefully you're having a great Tuesday evening, watching some Rebel Cougar baseball on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. Be back at it again tomorrow, 1:05, first pitch. The 2-1, and that one is hammered foul and out of play, 2-2. And as I said, the Rebels will go on the road back into Mountain West play as they take on San Jose State. They'll be back here March 19th to take on Northridge at 2:05 midweek game. And the 2-2, and this one will be chopped down and into right field for a base hit. Johnson will score. The throw goes to third, but easily in is Wold. So Williams with his second RBI of the game and his second hit of the game. And the Rebels lead 7-2. Just glad to see Williams out there. He looked like when he was in the fielding, might have tweaked his knee a little bit. He looked pretty good there, running to first. So Smith comes up now with 2 on. Last time Smith had 2 on. He hit a 3-run home run. The last time he came up, he had a double and an RBI. So far, 4 RBI for Smith with a double and a home run. 335 Club waving the banner down there in right field. Looking for Max Smith to deposit another one. 10 hits now for the Rebels. 7 for 12 with runners on. 5 for 7 with runners in scoring position. And that one a little bit high. Did he go? No, he didn't. 1-1 the count. And the 1-1 to Smith, and that one high, 2-1 the count. Robbins on deck. And the 2-1, and that one fouled straight back. Wait. Yeah, they're saying it. So I think they're calling a balk. The net is that Williams will go to second. Wold will score. So Smith now will chop this one foul. Okay, so the score is now 8-2. The count is 2-2. There is 1 out. Williams is at second, and Smith still at bat. And this one is fouled straight back. So college baseball, see a little bit of everything. And the 2-2 to Smith, and that one is high, so the count will go full. And the 3-2 to Smith, and that one is inside. That will be a walk. And the Rebels will get
fielder,
Grant Robbins up to bat with 2 runners on. Williams at second and Smith at first. Up by the score of 8-2, bottom of the 4th. And the first one in there for a strike. And this one will be chopped. Boy, that'll be slow enough. And nobody covering third, and Busch looked to throw it over to Colton, but he was coming in. So that is going to be bases loaded infield hit for Robbins. And Dupa will step in with the bases loaded and 1 out. So that's called putting it in the perfect place. They will stay with Busch. So Williams at third, Smith at second, Robbins at first, and Pahukoa, who in his last at-bat got an RBI single right up the middle. Busch sets and delivers, and this one is a swing and a miss. A little bit of an uppercut there. I think Pahukoa was trying to get it in that wind out to left field. Colton at third and Plu at first, even with the bags. The other 2 infielders back looking for the double play, and the next pick, big swing and a miss. So 0-2 to Pahukoa. Godman on deck. And this one will be chopped down foul. That is a foul ball, so the count will remain 0-2. Of course, with the wind blowing out, no lead is safe in college baseball especially, and this one fouled off. Rebels looking to tack on a few more. It is still only the bottom of the 4th. Rebels would love to put a few more across here and have a little bit more room in the back half of the game for air. Ooh, that one high. 1-2 the count. And the 1-2, and that one, called third strike. Just catches the outside part of the plate. And that will be a strikeout for Busch. So Godman will now step in. He had a single his last at bat. Batting .306. He has 7 RBI on the season and looking to get a few more here if he can get a 2-out knock. That one will be high, 1-0 the count. Gamble on deck if Godman can extend the inning some way. That will assure, if he can extend the inning, of at least one more run for the Rebels. They're up 8-2 here, bottom of the fourth. Wind blowing out. No such thing as a safe lead, especially this early in the game. And the 1-0, and that one, yep, that's exactly where Paukoa's pitch looks. So if that one was a strike, this one should have been a strike, and it was. The count goes to 1-1. Alvarez, the shortstop, moving around a little bit there. Plays a little bit more towards the traditional shortstop hole now. And the 1-1 to Godman, and that one misses. 2-1 the count. Busch has struck out one and walked one in his inning and 2/3 of work. And the 2-1, and that one is going to the right field, and it drops in for a single. That should be 2 runs for the Rebels, as that will be a 2-run single as Williams and Smith score. So a big 2-out hit by Jacob Godman, the freshman, puts the Rebels up 10-2. Nice bit of hitting. Opposite field hit.
Center fielder, James Gamble.
And that is so important. Like I said, with the wind blowing out, there is not a safe lead, and that definitely might ensure Buco comes out again for the top of the 5th, I would think. So Gamble now will step in. He's grounded out his first 2 at-bats. Of course, you'd love to see somebody with the speed of Gamble. You'd rather have him ground out than hit it in the air, because if he can outrun to first base, which they've been close, especially the first one. The second one wasn't as close, but you love to see fast players put it on the ground. It gives them a chance. So that's Robbins at third, Godman at first, still 2 outs. That one misses, 1-1 the count. I'm sure the Rebels would love to be able to hit 700 for the year with runners in scoring position. I don't think they're going to do it, but tonight, so far, they are doing it. 7 for 10. And with 2 outs, 3 for 6. And this one will be into left field, so the hit parade keeps on going. And that will be a double as Gamble busted around. Robbins scores and Godman to third, and the Rebels lead 11-2.
The shortstop, Bryson Stott.
So Stott steps in, now with runners at second and third. He's 1 for 2 on the evening. Kind of surprised Busch is still out there, but maybe each pitcher was getting 2 innings no matter what happens. And this one will be hammered up the middle, and that should be 2 RBIs for Stott, as yes, Godman, of course, easily scores. Gamble scores with his speed, and that is a single that will get Bryson Stott 2 more RBIs on the year. And it is now 13-2 Rebels, and that will do it for Ky Busch. We'll let you know who the new pitcher is when we come back. The new pitcher is Owen Leonard, the junior from Seattle, Washington. Junior college transfer from Everett Community College. So Stott at first, Rebels up 13-2, and the first one is fouled off. 0-1 the count to Dylan Johnson. So with Gamble's hit, everybody in the lineup has got a hit for the Rebels now. And the 0-1, and that one is fouled off. 0-2. Leonard comes in with an ERA of 9.95. He's gone 6 1/3, no record. He's walked 6, struck out 9. And he has given up 1 home run. And the 0-2, and that one is fouled off. Woo! Good thing there was a screen in front of the dugout there. That thing was a shot foul. Somebody comes out of the Rebels bullpen as it rolls all the way down the right field dirt. A lot of foul territory here at Early Wilson. And the 0-2, and that one is inside. 1-2 the count. 3, 4, and 5, the slots due up for the Cougars. Short turnaround time as tomorrow's game is 1:05. Should be clear tomorrow. I think they're calling for some wind. And that one is fouled off. And the 1-2 to Johnson, and that one is chopped to second. Pretty easy play for Goldsmith, and that'll do it. But the Rebels put a 7 spot up here in the bottom of the 4th and lead 13-2, going to the top of the 5th. Live from Early Wilson. Troy Balco steps up, and he'll remain on the mound, top of the 5th. As Colin Montez will come in. And if you are a UNLV pitcher right now, up 13-2, you just want to pump that strike zone for now. No freebies. You don't want to put gimmies over there, but you don't want to give away any free passes either. Having said that, now the count is 2-0. There's action in the Rebel bullpen, and that one just misses outside, as that's kind of been the Achilles heels right now for Balco. He's walked 3, Pitch counts at 73. And the 3-0, that one in for a strike. And the 3-1 fouled straight back, 3-2. So good job by Buco to get right back into this count. And the 3-2, and that one, Godman unable to hold on to that one, so the count will remain 3-2. That was close to being the third strikeout of the night for Buco, but a little too hot to handle there. And the 3-2, and that one is high, but should be playable. Gamble comes over, takes charge in center field, and puts it away for the first out of the inning.
Hitter, Kyle Manzardo.
So Kyle Manzardo will now step in. Manzardo walked his last at bat, and he flied out to Grant Robbins in the first. And the first one in there for a strike, 0-1 the count. Wold, Williams, and Smith due up in the bottom of the fifth for the Rebels. And the 0-1, inside 1-1 the count. Rebels are 14 for 26, hitting .536 today. And that one fouled, and that will go out of play, yes. So the count will go to 1-2. Buco gave it a good look, but it was 3 or 4 rows back. You wonder if Stan Stolte, not in the 5th inning, but if it stays this out of control, if you'll start to see a few starters come out of the game, especially with this one hammered to right over Williams' head for a single. But still too early now. Like I said, college baseball, with the wind blowing out, anything can happen. Andres Alvarez steps in. He's 1 for 2 on the day. You would think Manzardo, down by 11, would not be going anywhere. And that one is hammered out and will get down and split the gap. So, well, I'll tell you what, good play by Robbins to get it. There will be a play at the plate. Here it comes, and he is out at home. What a play by Robbins. And I believe, was that Stott who got the relay in? Stott throws it to Godman, and what a play by the Rebel defense. So Alvarez will be a double. He goes to third on the throw.
Center fielder, Danny Sinatra.
Wow. I know I've said this quite a lot this season, but Grant Robbins has done nothing. In fact, the outfield for the Rebels, all positions, Gambles can scoot, and Smith plays a good right field, really good outfield defense all around for the Rebels, and you saw it right there. So Sinatra will now step in. Now Alvarez is at third, and that one good stop by Godman to keep Alvarez at third. So the score remains 13-2. It is the 6th hit for the Cougars. Buco trying to get one more out and go a complete 5. And the 1-0 pitch, that one just a little outside. And the 2-0, and that one inside 3-0 the count. Barnum on deck. I always say the last out is the hardest one to get. Sometimes when you're a starting pitcher, the last out in the fifth is the hardest to get. That one right down the pipe. I mean, your defense is playing great behind you. Balco's just got to trust him, and if you give up the long ball, you're still up by 9. It's 13-2 right now. I'm just putting one over the plate. 3-1, and that's what he does. Puts it over the plate, comes right back over my head, and foul. The count goes full. Balco should time this pitch perfectly with the plane coming over. And he does, and this one is hammered out, and unfortunately that will be another extra base hit, and this one will result in a run as the runner's at third. Gamble had a little bit of problem getting it at the track and easily into third. I don't think it would have mattered either way. Is Sinatra for a triple. But, you know what? Kudos to Balco. No walk. Oh, no. Here comes... I got a bad feeling. See if Balco can talk him out. There's already somebody coming in. The pitching change has been made. When we come back, we'll let you know the new Rebel pitcher. Live from Early Wilson. Rebels up 13-3. Paul Ritchie is the new pitcher for the Rebels. So Balco able to go 4 2/3, but just couldn't get that last out to qualify for the win. Ritchie comes in, drops the first one in for a strike to Barnum. The Rebels still lead by 10, top of the fifth. And I think that's... And that one, big swing and a miss. I think Sinatra was probably Balco's last shot when he gave up the extra base hit. Ah, man. Couldn't quite qualify for that win, unfortunately. And that is a 3-pitch strikeout for Ritchie. So he comes in, restores order. The Rebels lead by 10, 13-3, going to the bottom of the fifth. So Wold comes in, and we have a couple defensive changes for the Cougars. Over at third, it'll be number 12, Jack Smith, coming in for Cody Colton. And in right field, it'll be number 1, Kobe Blunt, coming in for Brody Barnum. So 13-3 in the first position player changes will be by the Cougars here in the bottom of the 5th. And the first pitch to Wold is up and in, 1-0 the count. Still Owen Leonard on the hill for the Cougars. And Jack Thomas will foul that off. That is a foul ball. 13-3 here, bottom of the 5th. As I said, if the score, maybe after the 6th, but if the score remains a 10-run lead after the 6th, I would not be surprised if some Rebels also would change in the outfield. Especially with a 1 o'clock game tomorrow. Short turnaround time. And that one will be chopped foul. Nice play in the on-deck circle by Williams. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if this is Williams' last at bat. I would hazard that we will see a new second baseman coming up. That one's sky high. The catcher comes back, and Nataro puts it away for the first out of the inning. Now, there's one time the wind probably helped keep it in play, as the wind is blowing pretty much out to center field right now. So that will help. Right now, the fans from Pullman not exactly enjoying this game, but the hometown fan Rebels are. So Williams steps in, 2 for 3 on the day, couple RBI. That one in for a strike, 0-1 the count. And the 0-1 pitch, and that one fouled off to the right. And Max Smith will get that one. So the on-deck circle, a busy place for the Rebels right now. Be alert in the on-deck circle at all times. And the 0-2, and that one high, 1-2 the count. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Cougars. 13 runs, 14 hits, and no errors for the Rebels. Wind blowing out. Probably the wind is going to keep increasing throughout the evening. And that one, a check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, and Williams will strike out. So since they said he went, that will be a strikeout swinging.
Attention, please. A couple of defensive changes for the Cougars. Now playing. We'll have that a bit later. Right fielder, Max Smith.
Max Smith steps in, 2 for 2 on the day. Home run, double. And then he walked his last at bat, 4 RBI on the night. And the 1-0, and that one, 2-0, a little outside, as I growl into the mic. I was about to say right in there for a strike. I am not quite on the same page as Billy Hayes on the strike zone. And the 2-0, and that one is out to left field. And because of the wind, it keeps going back. Montez does put it away, but what looked like an easy out kept going back and back. But no runs, no hits, no errors. 13-3. We'll go to the top of the 6th. Rebels up, live from Early Wilson. Great thing about baseball is you always try to guess and see what's going on. I will now officially go 1 for 3 because I said Williams would probably be taken out. He's not. No changes. Stott throws out. Good dig by Wold for the first out of the inning. That was Nataro. 1 pitch, 1 out. Ritchie still in for the Rebels. Buco had dove over there, but that didn't affect Stott. Now, tomorrow we'll have a special guest announcer. Austin Ballou will come on down. Now, you might know him if you come to Early Wilson because he plays the organ here. And that one in for a strike to Smith. Of course, Smith took over at third base for Cody Colton. Spending .667 on the year, which is 2 for 3. Not a lot of at-bats, so down by 10. Marty Lee's trying to give some other players a chance to get a few at-bats in here, which is always smart. And the 1-1, and that one is hammered down. What a pick by Pahukoa. Throws over. Wow. Nice play at third. So 2 good plays by the left side of the infield for the Rebels. And quickly 2 outs. So Plu steps in. He does have a home run on the day. That was back in the 3rd inning. A solo shot just about over that aviator sign out there. You can probably see it just to the right of 375 on the fence. And that one drops in just a little outside. 1-0 the count. And that one in for a strike, 1-1 the count. And Ritchie's doing exactly what you want. Just going in there and pumping the strike zone. Got a plane coming in, landing at McCarran. And the 1-1, that'll be outside. 2-1 the count. And the 2-1, and that one in for strike 2-2 the count. Both bullpens quiet right now. As I said, this would be usually about the quickest turnaround you'll get at UNLV, a 6 o'clock game into a 1 o'clock game the next day. And the 2-2, and this one is a big swing and miss. Good job by Ritchie. And we'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Rebels up 13-3, live from Early Wilson. Grant Robbins will lead off the bottom of the 6th. Grant teamed up with Bryson Stott to make a great play to cut down a run a couple innings ago in the 5th inning. Rebel defense has shined here tonight. And the 1-0, and that one is hammered out, and that will drop in for a single for Robbins. So every Rebel offensive player has a hit at least. Many multiple hits. And now Grant Robbins joins the multiple hit parade. Dupa, who made that great play in the top of the sixth to record the second out, will step in. He's 1 for 3 as an RBI. Back in the third, he did strike out looking his last at bat. It's a good time just to work on your batting, and that is what he does. And he sends this one over, goes Sinatra, and it will go over his head. So Pahukoa and Sinatra has some problems out there, but Higgins, when you're up by 10, very wisely stops Robbins at third. No sense in risking any injury at home in a close play. So Pahukoa now joins the multiple hit club. Godman is already there. In fact, Johnson and Gamble now, the only two players without multiple hits. They do have one hit. And this is... yeah, only Johnson and Gamble don't have multiple hits, and that one way outside. So Godman has a couple RBI. This is one of those games afterwards. If you're an offensive player, you love looking at your stats. And that one will be at least deep enough to score Robbins from third. Wow. Oh my, jeez. The center fielder, Sinatra, had it and should have called louder perhaps. Montez comes over, bumps him, and easily, probably could have scored anyway, but that just made Robbins even easier to score the 14th run of the game. Poor communication in the outfield, and luckily both Cougar players look like they're okay.
Center field, James Gamble.
So Godman will pick up an RBI, and Gamble will now step in. 1 for 3 on the day. He has a double and an RBI. That was back in the fourth. Pocoa at second. And this one will be hammered out. Back goes Sinatra, and he'll get it. Pocoa will be able to tag up easily and go to third. And that'll allow Bryson Stott, who comes in hitting .377 now. 2 for 3 is a couple RBI. And now he's got a runner at third. So Stott now with 13 RBI on the year. That one right down the pipe for a strike, 0-1 the count. And the 0-1, and that one misses. 1-1 the count. 2, 3, and 4 scheduled for, or 2, 3, and 4 slots for the Cougars. We'll see. They have started to make some defensive changes. And the 1-1, and that one low. 2-1 the count. Now, right now, I'm 1 for 3. I've gotten one of my predictions right, 2 wrong. I'm going to say this is Stott's last at bat. And in the 7th, he won't be in the field. Give him a little bit of rest for tomorrow's 105 start. So we'll see if I go down to 1 for 4. That one in for a strike. Or I'll get back to 500. 2 for 4. And the 2-2, and that one will be chopped foul. Count will remain 2-2. And the 2-2, and this one is outside 3-2. Tomorrow should be sunny and windy. And the 3-2, and that one is in foul territory and will drop untouched. Smith gave it a good run at it, but just too far out there for the third baseman to get under it. So the count will remain 3-2 with 2 outs. Stott trying to go 3 for 4 on the night. Right now, 2 for 3. And that one low, and instead he will walk and stay 2 for 3 on the night and get his second walk to go along with his 2 hits today. We will have a pinch hitter, Chase Hansen, now coming in. He'll bat for Dylan Johnson, so a new DH, Hansen, as Stolte starts to go to his bench.
Caretaker, please. Batting for Johnson. Number 3, Chase Hansen.
So Hansen is 1 for 5. That one hit was a double. He struck out 4 times. Freshman takes the first one, and it is low. Good stop by Nataro. Fourteen to 3. Hansen up with 2 outs and 2 on, and he will foul that one straight back, and the count will go to 1-1. Of course, Hansen looking for a couple RBIs, and he will go deep, and it will go down the right field line, and that is a 3-run shot for the pinch hitter, Chase Hansen, and his first home run of the season, and since he's a freshman, his first home run as a Rebel. 17 runs for the Rebels. 2 3-run shots today, Smith and Hansen.
First baseman, Jack Thomas Wold.
And I think now we might see a lot of defensive changes here, top of the 7th. But it's still the bottom of the 6th, and Jack Thomas Wold is up there, and he's 2 for 3 on the day. And he'll chop this one down to first base. And Blue will take it himself, and that'll do it. But the Rebels tack on 4 more. 17 to 3 the score. Top of the 7th coming up. Live from Early Wilson. Ritchie still on the hill, top of the seventh. Goldsmith steps in, and he'll take the first pitch outside. 1-0 the count. No defensive changes for the Rebels. And that one will be chopped down. Pauakoa gets it, and he sets and throws over to Wold for the first out.
Fielder, Montez.
Colin Montez steps in, 0 for 2 on the day. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Cougars. 17 runs, 17 hits, no errors for the Rebels. And that one will miss outside. And that one popped up. That's a long way to go, but Stott will come over and make the catch in front of Robbins for the second out of the inning. So coming up for the Cougars, it's number 39, Jared Thurber, senior from Des Moines, Washington.
Jared Thurber.
Ritchie sets and delivers, and that one in for a strike. So Ritchie's done exactly what you want a reliever to do in a game where you have a big lead, and just pump that strike zone. And he will foul that one out. Jack Thomas Wold comes over and makes the catch. So once again, a quick inning of work for Ritchie, and the Rebels will come up in the bottom of the seventh, up 17-3, live from Early Wilson. And it will be a final, as I guess. Is there a mercy rule? Or so Ritchie will be the winner. And a final of 17-3. Rebels win. We'll be back here at 1:05 tomorrow. Rebels go to 10-7 on the year. Till tomorrow.